What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin. Okay, making sure that everything is sounding right. What's up, fight fans? All right. So I'm your host, Edwin, here at Round One Sports Talk. We have a lot to discuss. I really want to break down this Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fight. Has a lot of buzz in the media right now, and why wouldn't it? It was a good fight until, you know, uh, a lot of controversy started coming out after the fight, the scorecards, the refereeing, the weight. There was a lot said. What's up, John? Thank you for tuning in. What's up from New Zealand? How you doing, brother? Uh, so there was a lot to take away, but I'm gonna give you a little bit different insight into what I believe happened in this fight and everything I believe that happened into this fight. Okay, they were at first watch, right? I was a prisoner of the moment. A lot of uh just what I was seeing, observing was coming to mind. But and then on second look, I went back and I watched the fight again, and I started to notice a lot of things that I didn't notice the first time. When you go back to watch something, you'll see other things, right? And Ryan Garcia won the fight, but he had a little bit of help with Devin Haney's performance. Devin Haney, let's talk about him first and break down him as a fighter and how he looked in the fight. Devin Haney really didn't look like his usual self. He did look like he was in shape, right? He did look like he weight drained himself, you know, um, to make the weight. Okay. And he looked physically okay, but he didn't look sharp. And that was alarming. Okay. Devin Haney looked at like he didn't in this fight anyway. He's not showing that he's going up a level, meaning that's due in part to his coaching. Devin Haney came out with the same tricks. He came out with the same approach. His arm is still rocking like this, and he didn't look like in the earlier rounds he was quick on the trigger. His twitch movement reflexes didn't look like they were responding, and there was a different type of fight being played out in the ring on that night. This wasn't a boxing match where skill was, you know, it wasn't skill versus skill. This was like Ryan Garcia just fought him. It was like a barroom fight. He just fought him. Devin Haney didn't know how to respond to that. You know, um, that goes to show that a fighter does well once the dance is going a certain way. But can he make adjustments? Can he recognize what was going on in there? And then you know, and then you think back to everything that was said from Devin Haney's camp, right? Oh, Ryan, all he has is a left check hook. That's the first thing he hit you with in the first round. That's all you said leading into this fight. And all the criticism you gave Ryan Garcia, the left check hook, and that's exactly what he hit you with. You had no answer for that. He thought going in with his jab that Ryan wasn't going to slip back and give him the check hook like he always does against all his opponents. So I was shocked that Ryan caught him that early with the punch that he talked about. And then leading up into the preparation, there was an interview with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney where they were sitting down talking. And Ryan started with his antics, and right there you heard Devin Haney say, I don't think he's taking this fight seriously. Gotcha. Boom. He already put it in his mind. Devin Haney, basically what he did was stay in shape. That's what he did. He didn't learn anything new. He nothing. Ryan Garcia shut down his arsenal with just brute force. Brute force. Then you know, as Ryan Garcia, uh we got a glimpse of the boxer that he's becoming. Ryan Garcia, in fact, wasn't up to the best of shape. And that goes to speak to, like, if Ryan wasn't in the best of shape and he couldn't sustain what he was putting together, what's that say about Devin Haney? Devin Haney didn't work on anything. You know, look, as a fighter, you have to understand yourself. Devin Haney wants to be that power puncher like Tank Davis. He wants to be like a Tank Davis. But God didn't bless you with that. Don't try to force it like you were going to knock Ryan Garcia out with one punch. You should have put your punches together in combinations, set things up. All Devin Haney seemed like he wanted to do was slip under Ryan Garcia's check hook. Like that was he was going to get points for that or something. Bro, you couldn't time his check hook. It was spontaneous, fast, and you couldn't catch up to it. Forget about trying to duck under it. Try to put some offense. Go down to the body, go upstairs, switch it up. Had you been in better training condition, even switch it up lefty like Terrence Crawford. Sometimes these are weapons that fighters can utilize to switch up to mess up their opponent. Ryan Garcia didn't train for a lefty. By even going into a left stance, it would have got him confused. He didn't, Devin Haney didn't do anything. He made no adjustments. He had no answer for a guy just brute force coming forward to him. He can box you if you're a boxer. If you're standing out there trying to box Devin Haney, he's going to box circles around you, right? Because you're allowing him in his own world. But as you can see, if you put this kind of pressure on Devin Haney, what would that say against a fighter such as like a Subriel Matias? That kind of pressure. What would he do then when he has to face a fighter such as Subriel Matias? What would happen? What do you think is going to happen? Bro, Devin Haney was also exposed for the holes and the level that he is not going in. I talk about this all the time. When you see your fighter, the next time you see your fighter, you should see a better version of that fighter. Devin Haney fed too much into the bullshit that he's good, that he is Floyd Mayweather, walking around with bodyguards and shit. He trying to be like Floyd, and his dad's trying to be like Don King. I don't blame him for the gimmick, but there was one thing about Floyd, he got better every time. You know, you can claim that you go to the gym 3 times a day, but what are you learning in that gym 3 times a day? And if you're really committed like that, Devin Haney didn't show that he went up any levels. And in this game, moving up in weight, look, to answer a few questions of why Devin Haney is remaining the WBC champion of the world, this is probably why. I'm not, I'm not there, but I'm pretty sure it went something like this. Technically, if the fight was scheduled at 140 and Ryan Garcia moves weight, by law, by law, Devin Haney has the right to pull out in the fight, get paid, and remain champion. Yes, he can choose not to take that fight at that moment. Behind the scenes in the offices, right? That was probably discussed. That they probably came to Devin Haney and was like, "Look, Ryan Garcia came in overweight. Do you still want to take the fight?" And Devin Haney behind closed doors probably said, okay, I'll take the fight, but I'm going to remain champion. You see? And they probably agreed to that. And then as another thing, I understand that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney had a bet on stage. Like they said, 500 whatever for each pound, right? And it was reported that that tallied it up to $1.5 million, 1.6, whatever, because of the half pound, right? I want you to be aware of that that's probably not necessarily true. That's for show. But the truth, what really happens behind the scene, the New York Athletic Commission that hosted the event is going to penalize Ryan Garcia. So they're going to penalize him anyway for every pound. That's going to go to Devin Haney. The sanction, the penalty, the amount of it is going to be handed to Ryan Garcia, which is probably going to be $100,000 a pound. That's what it's going to be. Maybe a little more. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in the room, but I do know that he's going to have to pay that to the athletic commission, and then they give it to Devin Haney. You see? So why would he pay two fines? Why would he pay Devin Haney this outlandish amount of money and the New York Athletic Commission, which gives it to Devin Haney? So what's really probably going to take place is Ryan's going to play the New York Athletic Committee, which is going to then give it to Devin Haney. But it's probably not going to be $1.5 million. No. Why would I pay two things? You see? So that right there, I mean, that would be up to fucking Ryan Garcia to give him, extra 1.5 million on top of the sanctioning fees. I don't see it happening, but if you guys want to believe that, go ahead. I believe he's going to pay the amount of money New York fines him for coming in overweight. I believe that's what he's going to pay. And I don't think it's going to add up to $1.5 million. Nah, nah. Nah, he didn't make that kind of money with Devin Haney on bets and stuff, but that has nothing to do with, and on pay per view, but that has nothing to do with the actual purse. The fight is based off the purse. Anything else you make on the side, that's you. You understand? So, um, and as far as the refereeing and the judging in the fight, listen, they're gonna make a lot of excuses for this fight. And when you go back and you watch the fight, um, there's no way on God's green earth you can convince me that this fight was a draw in any way. Okay, not with three knockdowns being scored in the route in the fight. That's that's a 10-8 round. Okay, and one of those rounds could even have been scored worse, but and then that was in the same round, right, where he got the point deduction, but he still wins the round too. So that's actually a 9-8 round. Yeah. So nah, 1 10-8 round is the equivalence of 2 rounds. 2 4 6. That's 6 rounds. That's 6 rounds by itself, right? And in actuality, it's only 3 rounds. He didn't win just those 3 rounds. There was rounds that he beat the shit out of Devin Haney, like the first round, staggered him and everything. He just didn't drop him. But Ryan Garcia clearly won that round. You understand? So if you got fucking three rounds where you scored 10-8 rounds in, that's 6 rounds right there. Ryan Garcia won a few more rounds in between. There's no way. There's no way you could consider that a draw, right? It was the other two scorecards were okay. Were okay. And let's keep it in mind, they did take away a few knockdowns from Ryan Garcia, and they knew it. They knew it. The beating was bad. But another thing I want to address and talk about is all the shit that they're saying about Devin Haney in the side that Ryan Garcia's father's coming out on, talking about if Bill Haney loved his son, he would have stopped the fight. Bro, your son didn't give Devin Haney that kind of ass whooping. It looked bad, yeah, but he didn't give him like an Errol Spence Jr. ass whooping. He didn't give him what Terrence Crawford did to Errol Spence. Yo, that man literally had lumps on top of lumps. He was disfigured. He didn't look like Errol Spence Jr. after the fight. And weeks after that, that was an ass whooping, right? Um, I just feel like that was a different kind of ass whooping. It wasn't the Ryan Garcia beat up Devin Haney, but as a fighter, you're in boxing. What? Every bruise you get on your face, throw in the towel? No, that man needed to show grit. He also needed to show that he can get out of these kind of situations and that he's a real fighter. You don't quit when the going gets tough. I understand, and all these men know what they're getting into. What, you wanted Caleb Plant to quit against David Benavidez? Now that was a beating. You wanted Arturo Gatti to quit against Mickey Ward just because he was bleeding that much? No. He's gonna try to plead it and make Devin Haney's dad look like a bad father. That wasn't a bad father. That was a father going through some shit with his son. He was watching his son get his ass whooped for the first time. And then on the outside looking in, it maybe look like Bill Haney is like trying to get money off his son or whatever. Bro, that's all hate talk. That's envy talk. If anybody's gonna get money off your own kid, it should be you as his father. When the Jacksons and everything, every single time a dad wants to maximize off their own kid, they're scrutinized. But if a greedy manager makes all that money, it's okay. It's okay. But when it's family, oh no, he's the worst dad in the world. What? Listen, his son didn't want to quit in that fight. Devin Haney was getting hurt, and he was in all kinds of trouble. He was. But you're in boxing. This kind of shit happens. Yes, pay attention to your fighter. No, he was not taking that kind of ass whooping. No, no, no. As a champion, listen, let me tell you something right now. Had what's his name? Diego Corrales' corner threw in that towel when he went down all those times. Diego Corrales' eye was shut. His jaw was like this. Every time that man touched him, he went down. That dog inside of Diego Corrales, that warrior. Yo, never count your fighter out. Yeah, sometime he's going to lose. Diego could not come back against Floyd. That was a fact. That was a good stoppage, right? But as far as Diego Corrales rose up off the canvas, they were threatening him to stop in the fight. The referee, his corner, everybody, bro. And the Rocky music just came on in the background. And Diego Corrales hit him with a big shot, and he goes staggering against the rope. Y'all saw it. Y'all saw it. You couldn't believe what you was witnessing, huh? And he was yo, it was crazy. So Devin Haney was undefeated, a two-division world champion. You know, um, one more knockdown, I guess. Yeah, I probably would have threw the towel in. When he was really badly hurt. His father was watching him, giving him the benefit of the doubt, and then all these things are gonna come out, bro. It is what it is. Devin Haney, you need different kind of coaching. You need to step it up a different level. You learn something, you got your ass whooped, bro, and dust yourself off, and you're still the WBC champion. And then everybody still wants to take shots. But now let's keep it in mind that even though you're now, off of the win, that doesn't even look, Ryan could erase, like I talked about it. He erased all the things they were ready to say about him had he took a loss. You see how they're talking about him now? Now he's not crazy. Now he's a king. Now he's the face of boxing. You see what that eraser can do? Had Ryan Garcia lost that fight, what do you think the world would be saying today? Hmm? And they even made it a religion fight. Jesus versus the Muslims on some channels. Look how far people are taking this, you know? And man, listen, I'm like, wait a minute. You guys are acting like these guys were like a real king and two gods fighting. Yo, slow down. Slow down. And then they're talking like Ryan Garcia is this next skill fighter. Like if he was even on the level of a Oscar De La Hoya in his prime. Hell no. Oscar De La Hoya in his prime would destroy Ryan. That check hook couldn't help him against Oscar. Oscar got his own check hook. Oscar was a dog, right? So, look, this doesn't excuse the things that are going on in Ryan. That young man still has issues. And by this win, I'm not sure if it's gonna solidify his shit. What can end up happening, this can go inward. His next fight, he can get exposed real bad. Now, if he took this also as, a lesson, look how good I did with this much effort. What if I give it 100% and I really cut out all the bullshit? If you think that drinking and smoking, partying is going to sustain, bro, he pulled off one of the biggest upsets, but can this be a bad thing for Ryan Garcia? That's what I'm thinking about. Yo, can we smash the likes up in here? Can we get these likes up? Let me read some of your comments here. What's up, guys? What up? All right, how you doing? You guys always showing the love. Jonathan Wick, what's up? I don't want to believe this, but I think the fight was rigged. Bro, Wick, my man, don't be that dude. Don't be that dude. Those are people that put outlandish bets and lost and can't accept the loss. Let me tell you something. There's no way on God's green earth. Devin, look at when you think about saying things like this, these are men that are making upwards to 10, 15 million dollars collectively. Maybe not on the purse of the fight, but sponsorships, pay-per-views. These men stand to make a lot of money. So what is it that you can offer a man that's already probably going to make $22 million dollars, like Ryan Garcia made on a bet, right? What are you going to give him to throw the fight? What are you going to pay um Devin Haney that's already making upwards of 20 million? What are you going to give him another 20 million to throw what fight? What bookie in the world could pay Devin Haney 20 million dollars and win 20 million? Who can do that? Who can pay out this bet so that all the other bookies in the world win? It's not like all these bookies are together. You understand, Wick? Right? So that one guy makes all this money. Why would I want Devin Haney to throw the fight so everybody else can make money? It's not like they're all going to come and bet with me. Who's paying him to make this fight rigged? And who stands to benefit off of it? What you think Las Vegas, that one hotel casino? So you think that whoever's putting the fix in is calling everyone else to let them know that the fix is in? You think it works that way? Who is this big person that puts these fixing all these fights that makes all this kind of money? That has the amount of money that can go to these kind of athletes that are millionaires, that are making millions, and you're just gonna pay them millions because you got guys that are coming to your place that are paying placing $1 million bets. So you got over 50,000 people that are going to make regular bets, at least four or $500, right? So 50,000 people are coming in your site to bet. So what are you paying Devin Haney? You're not going to make that kind of money. These kind of outlandish rigged things, bro, that doesn't work. That only works at an amateur level, at a college level. That's it. Those guys don't make no money. An amateur boxer ain't making no money. If he takes a dive at that point, you can do that because you can cover his bill and make money on your bet. The reason why they pay these athletes millions of dollars so that there's no one that can do that to them. They're not in debt to some mobster. They're not going to get their knees broken. They're $1 million athletes. They got money to pay off their debts. What do you think? An athlete got it into the bookie for 25 million? How the fuck did that happen? And who allowed that to get, bro? That these guys, they yeah, it's cool to break down film by film and what this guy did. You're judging something that was happening in real time like this, and you're falling for it. You think Devin Haney really went out there and took that kind of ass whooping and practically got his jaw broken on fake? Watching his wife see him on the ground for the first time, his brothers, everyone, you think that was rigged? Brother, he got his ass whooped. Ryan Garcia whooped his ass and caught him with that power. And just like I did my own investigation, Tank Davis publicly came out and said, yo, quiet as kept, Ryan Garcia is the hardest puncher I've ever been in the ring with. And the only reason why he was allowed to say that, because he not only did he defeat him, he knocked him out. So that set him free to talk freely. You needed to pay attention to what Devin Haney and all those other guys like Luke Campbell and everyone else said when they got hit by Ryan. All of them said the same thing. Yo, he hits different. And Devin Haney never recovered from that shot in the first round. He might have tried to been playing it off, but he probably broke his jaw or fractured it, or it might not be broken, but that injury that he sustained from the first round, who knows? He probably rocked him so hard he never recovered. But one thing for sure, there's nothing to be rigged in that kind of fight. You want to know what a rigged fight looks like? Right there. He couldn't even act. That right there in this moment in history, just in case you don't know, is Ali confronting him for taking a dive. He was upset. He was like, bro, you gonna do this? Fight me. And Sonny Liston took a dive, and the world knows it. Yeah, yeah. You can do that. When these guys is dead broke, ain't got no money, Sonny Liston was in with the mob type shit. Bro, that was in the 20s. These guys barely made how much money? You can control them. Not today. Not today. That's why they pay him all that money. What are you going to entice him with? What are you going to give him? He already making 22 million for the fight. What are you giving him? And so you're going to make your 22 million back and a mysterious 100 million? Where are you getting all these people to make these bets? Bro, nah. Come on, man. Anyway, what's up, baby? Road Rage, how you doing, brother? Ronnie, what's up, baby? Thank you. All right, always in the building. Yo, bro, that was a crazy ass whooping Ryan put on him. Yeah, listen, real talk, there wasn't nothing boxing about Ryan's style. He straight fought him. That was Ryan was fighting, and Devin Haney was trying to box. Yeah, yeah. And that's what happened. And that's what I mean about, and a lot of us as like, you know, reporting or people that have a good ring IQ and insight that we talk about with like the Japanese superstar Naoya Inoue, where that we know that he has all the skill in the world and that we say these guys might just be too big for him. That's what happens where you're skilled, it will drown against a guy that can just walk right through everything you have and just blunt you down. His punches are so heavy and so hard that at some point you gotta like shell up. You don't know really what to do. And if you never experienced something like that, like Devin Haney, that's what happens. Like that. You know, you have to be able to know how to deal with power. Just like you have to be able to know how to deal with speed. That fight will had nothing to do with timing, positioning. It had nothing to do with that. This wasn't that kind of fight. Where that Devin Haney was looking for Ryan Garcia's timing. He's trying to find his range. There was no range finding in this fight. There was Ryan Garcia fucking throwing bolos and bludgeoning freaking Devin Haney to death, and he was basically in there trying to survive. And Devin Haney was punching him in the side. And I want you guys to understand one thing. And I'm going to bring another insight to this whole thing about Ryan Garcia's Philly shell. You guys want to know the secret about that? And I know I'm right. I know I'm right because I did my investigation last night, right? Where that started, right, was right after Tank Davis knocked him out with a body shot. He also complained about two fractured ribs. With a Tank Davis punch, yeah, yeah. Ever since that fight, it's the same side. He covers it like this, goes like this, and he'll give you this side, but not the side that Tank Davis hit him on. You see? Then I wanted to like solidify it. I wanted to make sure that that was it. That's what I was, keying on. Okay. So I went back and I watched the fight against Devin Haney. In the first round, when Ryan Garcia caught Devin Haney at the closing part of the round, Devin Haney catches him with a good body shot on that side. Watch it. And Ryan Garcia grabs his side and he goes walking back to the corner like this. And then he quickly takes his hand off it so that nobody looks. But for a quick second, go look at it, he goes like this. From the minute in that round, Devin Haney hurt him with that body shot. But Ryan Garcia, he had a good poker face, and Devin Haney was in a place he's never been before and in trouble. Devin Haney's face started to show worry. And he was so locked in on trying to get that back of what the crowd just witnessed of him staggering that, all these things that the people put into his head. Oh, you're chinny. Linares gave you chicken legs. And you can't get cracked, Devin Haney. And those are things that are going through his mind too. That he was thinking about everything else than rather recognizing what was going on in the ring. Had he been focused, he would have noticed that he hurt, or somebody in his team would have noticed he hurt Ryan with that body shot. From there on, Ryan started taking some of the round off. And you notice he started clinching that side again and doing that whatever Philly shell and giving him the other side once again. The same thing he did in the other fight with that guy. That guy hit him in the body, the same side Tank Davis hit him, and he started doing that Philly shell thing, just protecting that one side. I think those ribs really never healed, and he's having problems with that side, or he's weak to the body on that side. Yeah. Go back and watch it after my video and tell me if I'm right or my wrong. Listen. Yeah, and that's why he's doing that. Because Ryan Garcia's kryptonite is his body, but on that side. He can take a punch to the other side, no problem. He took him. Devin Haney hit him with shots to the body, and it didn't seem to affect him on that side, bro. He brutalized him, bro. Yo, listen, that's what exactly started to happen. And that's why he's developing that thing like this. I don't think his ribs really, either in training, he might have keep re-injuring it. I've had injuries that I've played like because I was a multiple athlete. I would play like flag football and mess up my ribs and then be playing softball, baseball, as I got older and shit and trying to swing and my ribs never really, I had to take the proper time off, you know? But yeah, look, this was on many different levels an eye opener. It goes to show you that you cannot surround yourself with yes men. Yes, champ. You're looking good, champ. Yes, champ. No, you're in shape, champ. No, people have to tell you you need to step up. And Bill Haney needs to recognize you can still be his manager and help promote the fights and everything, but get him different coaching, better coaching, not these guys that he got around him. I would, humbly fire all of them and really get inside of a gym with a coach that I can learn different styles and different looks, not to always have the same approach. I think Devin Haney got to a point where that I've criticized a lot of fighters for doing as such, getting to a level and being comfortable there. Just staying in shape is not good enough. You're gonna have to get better as the sport gets better, you know. Um, because you think things can't change in your sport, right? And then all of a sudden, here comes this one technique that really changes the sport, like in the UFC. They're all fighting. Then all of a sudden, out of kind of nowhere, the UFC has already been around for like 10 years by this point, right? Then all of a sudden, the calf kick became a crucial weapon of beating like some of the best fighters in the world. They can't take those calves kick. And that changed the game. Those calves kicks in the UFC. And you would think like the sport was a little, and that's how you evolve. That's how you evolve. Their boxing still evolves. No matter if you're on just your hands. There are different ways of fighting, and there are men and women that are starting to see and raise the level in the sweet science. Devin Haney had to recognize that this wasn't a chess match at all. This was checkers. Attack, 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 attack. This wasn't. This had nothing to do with finesse. No, and you have to be able to adapt and to change. And that was a big flaw in Devin Haney's. Yeah, I have to admit that was a big flaw. He's still skilled. He's still skilled. If you put a certain kind of boxer in front of Devin Haney, that's why we say styles make fights. Ryan Garcia's style dominated against Devin Haney's style. He didn't have an answer for the onslaught. No, he didn't. Styles make fights. But if you put a boxer in front of Devin Haney tomorrow, he'll probably outbox him. Yeah, he's skilled. He is skilled. It's just that you see that now he's not trained for certain situations. And that's what I meant this entire time when I got criticism. Since I started my show, I have receipts. You can check my videos on any video that I've ever talked about Devin Haney. Didn't I say that Devin Haney was not a polished fighter? That I felt like he wasn't a finished product? You've heard me say that before. And I was right. And they were saying, nah, Devin Haney is an elite fighter. He's this, he's that. And I was like, no, he's not. He's not a complete fighter. And I said, I have to see some things. I told you guys, look, look what happened. Is he a complete fighter now? Is he a polished fighter now? I've been saying it for months. That's why I didn't put him on my pound for pound list. because I was like, and then I felt like I was forced to have to like try to put him on because everybody was no, 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 and I was like, man, that's not what I'm seeing. That's not what I'm seeing, and I kept sliding it in every episode. Yo, Devin Haney's not a polished fighter. He's not a polished fighter. I'm telling you, my my insight is high. It's pretty high. At least I would like to think so. Compared to a lot of other guys, the way I see it, I'm like, nah, not really. You see? And, you know, that's why I made this so that we can all become better educated. There are things in boxing I do not see, and I do not claim to know it all. But as long as I got you guys like you, always giving me insights and stuff in the chats, leaving me comments and messages and getting back to me. Yo, if you don't guys don't think that I don't learn off you guys, you're sadly mistaken. There's been a lot of times I know in the video, I'm always flowing and I'm bad with names or remembering who said it. But if you ever hear me say something that you said on my channel, just take it that, yo, I acknowledged it and I'm sharing it with the rest of us. I'm not stealing what you're saying or anything. You're here, we all here on this channel to be educated and learn, right? So that's my way of showing you, yo, this guy has something cool to say. I'm throwing it back out there. Yeah, I'm going to tighten up my reporting, my gameplay, my name, my memory, writing stuff down. There's a lot behind this that I do by myself, and I'm carrying everything. But I promise you guys, you stick with me. I'm gonna try to bring you the best boxing, and I'm always tell it like it is. I'm not gonna be biased, towards these fighters. I'm just, gonna keep it real and I love to give fight boxers their credit. Look, Jaime Munguia is coming in. That's the next big fight against Saul Canelo Alvarez. I'm not sure how everyone feels about that fight, but once again, I cover boxing. I'm gonna be watching this fight. Because there's a lot of people that are, you know, you know, that say that Jaime Munguia's got a puncher's chance. You look, Saul Canelo Alvarez is 33 going on 34 years old, but let's keep it in mind, he has 60 professional boxing matches. He has a lot of miles, and he's in the point in his career where you can see the fighter age almost overnight. He could have looked good in his last performance and look hella slow and gas out. No one knows when that happens to a man. We don't, there's not like a switch or life taps you on the shoulder and say, hey, you're about to lose a step. No, kinda you find out the hard way, and your body's not responding the way you want it to. You're thinking of a move, but you're just still standing there and fucking you get cracked. And you're like, why didn't I move? No, and you knew it was going to come. Your twitch muscles are failing you, and you're not as, so no one, and with 60 professional fights, that's like in the NBA. You're in the NBA 13 years and you got like 40-year-old knees already. That's a lot of wear and tear. Canelo Alvarez has a lot of boxing wear and tear. I just, you have to understand that. That is a big factor. Canelo Alvarez can get old overnight on us, and Jaime Munguia can beat him. Yeah, he can beat him, and he can even stop Saul Canelo Alvarez from fatigue, his body not responding, and the accumulation of the beating. He could just wear him down, and at some point in the fight, like the ninth, 10th round, Saul Canelo Alvarez's body can betray him. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but that's another possibility that I see. I have to keep him at this level in Saul Canelo Alvarez's career. That's what you got to watch out for. He has way too many boxing miles on him. Yeah. That's like buying a car with 300,000 miles. No, she runs beautiful. She looks great. She's got 300,000 miles. Don't worry about that. But look at the condition. Look at the paint job. That's what's going on with Saul. If I'm keeping it 100, yeah, yeah, you don't know when that's gonna happen. And every man doesn't age the same. Every no, I've seen some pretty impressive young men in the gym and 67 years old. Ripped! Like, yo, these old dudes will make you look like I'll be like, yo, right? Yo, there's this dude in my gym. He wears these Daisy Duke cut off shorts, and I know that sound funny, but somehow, some way, he pulls it off, bro. Yo, he looks like a hiking dude that's gonna. Yo, he's funny as shit. You gotta, yo, he's my man. Yo, I tell him all the time, you're the only one that can pull that shit off, bro. Yo, for real. But yeah, listen, you know, uh he Munguia has a chance. He has a chance. You know, I think of the Saul Canelo Alvarez that's slick, crafty, patient, that is usually 3 steps ahead of his opponent, that is setting up traps. He's throwing certain punches at certain angles, and then he knows when to switch it up. Saul Canelo Alvarez is a hard body puncher, a very hard body puncher, and he has this overhand hook shot that'll just put most men's lights out. Okay, I know who Saul Canelo Alvarez is. And, the fighter he was 10 years ago versus the fighter he is today, you got to remember that fighter is still in there. And even all the late great legends have that one good knocked out, banged out fight where you see flares of what they once were. And sometimes you don't. And a fighter ends his career on a bad note, losing his last four, getting knocked out 3 of the 4. Those horror stories, right? But and then when we get to see it, we see that champion have that one good performance, you know, and it's all said and done. Now, this also will play into factor the Saul Canelo Alvarez David Benavidez fight that I said we will never get. And I also think that at this point, David the Monster Benavidez should not give him the fight. Just like you said, fuck you to me, and you spit everything in my face after I bent over backwards for you and I made a mockery of myself, I would have pride too. Because let's keep this in mind. If Jaime Munguia pulls the upset and Saul Canelo Alvarez has no belts, do you really think David the Monster Benavidez is going to fight him after that? Or he's going to try to run it back with Jaime Munguia? What year do you think that fight would occur? And what if Saul Canelo Alvarez doesn't no longer have any belts? Why would David the Monster Benavidez fight him? You understand? So look, fight fans, I have a lot to report for you, and I would love to keep going, but somehow, some way, I misread the time, and on my security system, my daughter's van's outside, so I gotta cut this short. Listen, fight fans, I love you guys. Please give the video a like. We'll chop it up again here, Round One Sports Talk.